Welcome back to my channel, guys. My name is Lewis, and today I am bringing you a tier list in which I rate all of Ash's Pokemon, that is to say Ash from the animes. Now, with this particular tier list, I couldn't tell you yes or no if this is in fact all of the Pokemon he's ever had, because I stopped actually following the anime about halfway through the Johto region. So that was, a couple of decades ago. I've seen a little bit here and there. I've kind of stayed a little bit in tune, but whatever. I'm going to be rating his Pokemon not on their general quality, but on how original Ash's choices are. How based is he for choosing the Pokemon that he chooses? And I get it's all very circumstantial in the anime. In a lot of cases, Ash doesn't choose his Pokemon, they choose him. But if we look at it objectively, from a competitive perspective, say you're on Showdown and you see someone just using these Pokemon in a team, what's my opinion going to be of them? What would I think of that person? So, the Pokemon are going to be rated based on if they are, in fact, the most based choice. If they're a pretty original choice, if they're kind of neither here nor there, if they are excusably unoriginal, that is to say, they are a very common, uninspired choice, but it makes sense competitively. And if it's just the most unoriginal choice that you can really come up with. So there you go. Without wasting too much more time, we're just going to get into it. Bulbasaur. I mean, if only by virtue of the fact that he's completely unevolved, I have to say that Bulbasaur is pretty original. Yeah, he's a pretty original choice. I could rate him higher, but he is also the very first Pokemon. He's from Gen 1. I think he loses points for that. If they're from Gen 1, then you're not really thinking too far outside of the box. Squirtle is going to get the exact same rating, and so is Butterfree. Butterfree is, in fact, fully evolved, but there are so many better choices competitively for what Butterfree can do now that I have to say that using Butterfree for whatever reason, it's a pretty based choice. Not the most, but, the most based choice, I gotta put Pikachu. Pikachu is just... There is no reason to use Pikachu that I can think of off the top of my head for fun or competitive, really. So having him front and center in his team, that's just... The man marches to the beat of his own drum. Lucario is the most unoriginal choice, and I'm gonna say now, my choices here are not a reflection of what I think of you as a trainer for using these Pokemon. I'm just saying everyone uses Lucario. Lucario is every other person's favorite Pokemon, so no. Primeape, if you use Primeape, that's just a Chad move right there, honestly. Muck, pretty original. Never going to see that one coming. Alolan Muck, maybe, but no, this is just old school Kanto Muck. Gengar is excusably unoriginal. He's in all of the OU teams, but he's good, so I give him a pass. Kingler, I'd say neither here nor there. He's not a popular choice, but he is a good choice, and no one disagrees with that. Pidgeot, same story. There's better options, but I wouldn't respect you any less for choosing Pidgeot. Lapras, same story, really. Snorlax, I'm going to rate it the same as Gengar. He is excusably unoriginal. Competitively, Snorlax is just a beast, and I feel like he always will be. So, there you go. Quilava. Quilava is pretty original. If you're doing MF Cup or whatever they call it, no, that's an unexpected choice. Heracross, excusably unoriginal. And maybe with these choices in excusably unoriginal, I'm just showing how unoriginal I am. But I feel like Heracross is not... He's not lacking anywhere, really. He's got... His only big weakness, really, is that he has a 4 times weakness to flying. It's pretty exploitable, but otherwise, you're doing no wrong for having him on your team. Pignite. I hate Pignite, but I gotta say that's a pretty based choice, if only because I wouldn't see it coming. I think his name is Leavanny, and that's pretty based. Never see that coming. Honestly, he's rocking this Leavanny. He really, like I said, he just marches to the beat of his own drum. Talonflame, Completely unoriginal. I would say it's more excusable, but like, it's. I've seen probably more Talonflames than I care to ever, like hundreds competitively. And unlike, say, Gengar or Snorlax, they seem to get knocked out like instantly. Noivern, that's pretty original. That's pretty original. As far as dragon types go, seldom do we see him, and he's just a cool Pokemon, honestly. Melmetal, completely unoriginal, overpowered Uber thing that he is, and he's not even that good. He's not that good. Dragonite, totally unoriginal. Actually, you know what? He's excusably unoriginal because he is actually quite a beast if you know what you're doing. Yeah, anyone can just use Dragonite and wreck house, but for people that know what they're doing, it's almost a guaranteed win. That almost makes it a totally unoriginal idea, but get my logic. Bayleaf, it's pretty original. Incineroar, I'm going to say completely unoriginal. Most all starters are going to just suffer from this, especially if they are fully evolved. Incineroar, okay, so it's the Fire Cat you picked at the start of the game. Cool. He's not that good, though. Donphan, I love Donphan, and I gotta give it to Ash. That's a pretty base choice. There are better ground types that you can use, but you are rocking that elephant for all he's worth, and I respect you for it. Infernape, same story as Incineroar, my guy. Tauros, it's pretty original. I feel like he's got a little more utility than the average Pokemon, so he's a little closer to the OU than some of the others, but he's still not that popular somehow. Like, it's weird. Boldor, it's a pretty basic choice. Like, you don't want to Gigalith? Like, sure, you got to trade it, but like, bleh. we'll take our liberties with how we interpret this. Boldor is a pretty basic choice. Sirfetch'd, he's pretty new. He's kind of trendy. Okay, I'll put him in neither. Sceptile, yeah. This is just how I feel about the fully evolved starters. They're not. It doesn't take any thought to put them in your team. That's the problem. Swellow, that's pretty original. As far as the early birds be concerned, this guy's a really based choice. In fact, I'm going to say he's the most based choice. He's going to sneak up on you. He's going to have Flame Orb. He's going to have Guts on. I'm pretty sure he can run Guts. And he's just going to sneak up on you and take you out. It's going to be cray-cray. Okay, Torkoal. Torkoal, neither here nor there. Pretty good competitively. He's got his niche. Not the best. Not an unoriginal idea, though. So we'll just put him in neither. Corphish, just the most based choice. Who would have seen Corphish coming? And he turns into Crawdaunt, who is one of my favorite Pokemon to use competitively. Crawdaunt is the ace in the hole, and he's using the unevolved form. That is a power move right there. Glalie, neither here nor there, for the same reason as Torkoal. Pretty good competitively, kind of popular, kind of not. Staraptor, I'm going to say neither, because Staraptor, up until the recent re-release of Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, Staraptor pretty much hasn't been used at all since, like, Black and White, if he was used then at all. And only now are we starting to see him come back a little bit because of that re-release, so it's like, yeah, I don't know. Like, if you have him, then you have him. He's alright. Gibble, it's pretty original. Most people will spring for a Garchomp. Not Ash. Gliscor, the most unoriginal. Let me guess, Ash, you're running Toxic Heal as well, aren't you? Yeah, watch out for my Ice Punch. Snivy is pretty original, just by virtue of not being evolved, honestly. And I did choose Snivy in my playthrough of Black and White, but I still think he's the weak choice. One of. Honestly, I'm just saying that Oshawott is the strong choice in that game. Speaking of, there's the most based decision that Ash could have made in that series, in that season. Is he had a Oshawott on his team. Palpitoad. His name is Palpitoad. That's a really based choice, because I don't know anyone that uses Palpitoad. Literally, I've never seen a Palpitoad used. That's just such a power move, because I wouldn't know what to do. I would have no idea what to do. I'm not even 100% sure of what its typing is. Water ground? Water something? Is it just straight water? I don't know. Ash wins. Crocodile? Yeah, it's a pretty neither situation there. Scraggy, I think his name is. Scraggy? Or Scrafty? Scraggy, I think. That's pretty original. We'll put him right behind my head there. No one's first choice, but he gets the job done. Noctowl, we'll say neither or. He's an early bird, and he caught him as he started his journey in Johto. He is shiny, though, so I'm actually going to put him down into completely unoriginal. If you're bringing this against me in a OU team or something, and you've got a shiny Noctowl, then it's probably next to like 5 other shiny Pokemon. Shut up, you stupid hacker. Mr. Mime is the most base choice. I hate Mr. Mime, as do a lot of other people, I'm pretty sure. But if you rock one competitively, then it's like, damn, you are on a whole different Chad level from me. I could learn things from you. Rowlet, excusably unoriginal. He's the choice, right? In Sun and Moon, he's the choice. He's the one to pick. But everyone picks him. But I don't think there's anything wrong with picking Rowlet. So there you go. Okay, Dracovish. I don't actually know much of anything about Dracovish. I don't think I've ever encountered one competitively. I would call that a pretty original choice. Certainly if you used one against me, I would have no idea what I was up against. I wouldn't know how to deal. Unpheasant, like the worst early bird Pokemon, is the most base choice, if only for that reason. If Ash were to come at me with that, I would have no idea what to do. Same as Dracovish, except in the case of Dracovish, I don't know what to expect. I kind of know what to expect with Unpheasant, which makes me more suspicious. If that's just... I could have the total 100% advantage, and he's still going to completely unnerve me. That's a Chad move, Ash. Charizard. Completely unoriginal. Doesn't matter if you Mega Evolve him, doesn't matter if you Gigantamax. I love Charizard, but even I can admit that it's just a completely unoriginal, unbased choice. Lycanroc in its Dusk form. Yeah, come on. Do I have to explain that one? Hawlucha? Yes. Either way, no one's going to say yes or no about Hawlucha. Should I bring a Hawlucha? It's like, he's a big shrug. Totodile? Pretty original. Again, it's just using unevolved Pokemon is an original idea in and of itself. I think between Totodile, Cyndaquil, and Chikorita, of which Ash had all 3 anyway, Totodile is not necessarily the strong choice, so it's pretty original. Weasel? Yeah, that's the most base choice, because this guy looks like trash. He might have good utility, I don't know. I don't know enough about Weasel. I rate him that high. That's a pretty based decision. Goodra? Yeah, neither. It's not much you can say about Goodra. He's a fully evolved Dragon-type Pokemon, but it's not like you packed a Dragonite. So there you go. Greninja? Yeah. Greninja has to be the most unoriginal Pokemon that you can put in your team. And I don't care if you take that personally. It's a fact. He's literally the most popular Pokemon in the world after Pikachu, and Pikachu is the mascot of the entire series. What does that tell you? If Greninja is your favorite Pokemon, I'm sorry, you're completely unoriginal. Okay, Torterra. Torterra, finishing off this list, I'm going to say, on a very anticlimactic note, neither here nor there. Just because fully evolved Pokemon, but you don't see him in every battle, right? You don't see him all the time like Charizard. You don't see him Mega Evolve instantly like Sceptile can't Mega Evolve, right? But that's just another reason that he's such a neither here nor there choice, right? There's a lot of reasons to go for him and to not go for him. So there you go. Overall, I would say that Ash has a relatively balanced team in terms of originality. Is he the most based trainer? More than some, as I don't see a lot here with which Ash could make a very typical OU team. So, I gotta give him respect for that. I gotta really give him respect for just taking all sorts, all types, all forms, all stages of evolution. Ash ain't a bad trainer. And I mean, after this many decades, well, he better be pretty good. Anyways, this is a weird video. I just thought I'd give it a try. I hope you enjoyed it. Give it a like if you actually enjoyed it, and subscribe to the channel if you please. Find the bell icon, hit it, and then you don't have to miss out on future content. And until next time, my name is Lewis, and please keep watching. Have a good one.